How much did Mr. Zuckerberg give to the Democrats? I mean, this is what happens, and people are...
Well, he didn't give any money
on Musk. Let me be clear.
To the Democrats. He was sitting behind Trump.
Average press conference, I take 25 questions.
No, that wasn't my question. Mr. Farage, we're politicians, so we see what you're doing. I'm asking you a direct question.
Well, thank you.
I'm asking you a direct question.
You need money from Elon Musk in order to get elected Prime Minister of Great Britain. That's the bottom line.
This was
let me try another one.
Sensitive day. That's all.
I got you. It was a sensitive day. And I thought that's what the freedom of speech was about. You have a right to engage in speech that other people consider offensive.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to relish this opportunity because I'm not going to get the chance to say it often, but thank you. Thank you, America, for finally someone having a backbone and giving Nigel Farage the grilling that he deserves. Why are we not capable of doing this in this country? Why is no one capable of giving him these sorts of questions? We saw straight away there that he pulled him up on his lie about Mark Zuckerberg. If this was on BBC Question Time, or whatever, they'd just gloss over that. He'd be able to get away with those lies on Question Time. But no, why? Why does it take the US Congress to finally actually give him the grilling that he deserves? And they just don't let him get away with his normal bullshit.
You've banned journalists from your political events that you disagree with, haven't you?
No, in fact, I'm the only political
Really? At your convention, you didn't ban journalists and revoke their credentials?
You know, I take the average press conference, I take 25 questions.
No, that wasn't my question. Mr. Farage, we're politicians, so we see what you're doing. I'm asking you a direct question.
Well, thank you.
I'm asking you a direct question, and I hope you can answer it. Why do you ban journalists who oppose your views from coming to your events? Why did you tell your party why did you tell the local government not to do interviews with your local newspaper?
I am the most open person to any journalist.
Undoubtedly, you're the handsomest man in the world. But I'm asking you a different question, okay? That's not my question. My question for you is, and it's legit, why do you ban journalists that you disagree with from your political events, like from your convention?
I don't.
Okay, and you say you've never done that?
I can't think, if I go back the last 25 years, I can't think of banning anybody. But I mean, maybe somebody else did. But look,
I see. It was somebody else who did it.
I do more.
They're not letting him get away with it. They know his tactics. They're politicians. They know he doesn't want to answer the question he's being asked. He wants to answer the question that he wants to answer. Classic politician tactics. They're not letting him get away with it.
Isn't that correct?
We consider all day, as long as the chairman allows us. I don't mind. I had a very public falling out with Elon Musk.
But you're still trying to get some money from him, though.
Over a political issue.
It's not about the prior disputes.
I'm sorry,
you're trying to ingratiate yourself with the tech bros by coming over here and trying to...
Can I get a cup of coffee or something?
And you're arguing...
We'll be here a long time.
What you're arguing is that the citizens of Great Britain should pay a tariff if these tech companies are not allowed to violate the laws of Great Britain.
No, I'm not.
And this one takes the biscuit for me. God bless you. God bless. What's his name? What's his name? Is it Mr. Johnson or something? If I've got that wrong, I'm sorry. But God bless you, man. God bless you. You're doing God's work. This is a tactic that Farage uses a lot. If he feels like the interview's not going his way, or maybe he's not getting his points across, he'll just start making jokes. And God bless this man, Mr. Johnson. He weren't falling for none of it. He knows his tactics. He just took straight over him. It was fantastic.
But I wanted to ask you about your commitment to the freedom of speech universally. I think it's a principle that you advocate for everyone, not just for people who are in your party or people you agree with. You said that there should not have been a protest against the Gaza war in the UK. And then when it went ahead, the police refused to shut it down. You called them gutless for not shutting it down. Do you regret having opposed that, given that there was no violence there and there were 700,000 people who wanted to express themselves that day?
I have not opposed people standing up and protesting in favor of people living in Gaza at all. There was one particular day, and it was the Sunday nearest November the 11th, which was when we had big memorial services in London. And I think a march being allowed to go ahead on that day would have been a mistake. Any other day, fine.
Oh, I see. Who gets to decide that?
Well, I think actually something that is embedded in the country, something that is absolutely fundamental to
That's why we have a written constitution. You might take that idea back to the UK with you.
Well,
because the freedom of speech applies 365 days a year here under the First Amendment, not 364, 363, depending on some politicians heckling the government and telling them to shut down
we have
free
allowed.
speech.
And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but why? Why are we not capable in this country of giving him these sorts of questions? He gets away with this myth that somehow he's some pro-free speech advocate when he is just so obviously not. If you look at the facts, he is not. He doesn't want people protesting Gaza. He doesn't want local newspapers reporting on the new Reform local council. He doesn't want reporters that he doesn't like turning up at Reform Party conferences. When has he ever actually shouted from the rooftops about what's happening with harmless people with placards protesting against Gaza? He is obviously not. And the more that he cozies up to Donald Trump is more obvious for why he is not for free speech.
You are familiar with the fact.
Wrong. I have.
You are familiar with the
I've had
fact,
public,
Mr. Farage,
I have had a
that
public fallout with Elon Musk.
that Donald Trump's campaign benefited to the extent of $250 million from Elon Musk.
Well, I mean, how much?
You are familiar with that, correct?
How much did Mr. Zuckerberg give to the Democrats? I mean, this is what happens, and people are.
Well, he didn't give any money
on Musk. Let me be
to
clear.
the
I have
Democrats.
had.
He was sitting behind Trump with the rest of the tech bros, and you are here today
I'm going to answer
to
your
impress
question.
all of those tech bros, including
Keep going as
Elon
long
Musk.
as you
Isn't
want.
that correct?
I'm going to answer your question very, very honestly.
You need money from Elon Musk in order to get
I have.
elected Prime Minister of Great Britain. That's the bottom line.
Why? Why is no one asking these questions on Farage in this country? Why is no one asking that obvious question where he is a small party with 4 MPs that is constantly trying to look for funding from abroad, constantly trying to get the likes of Elon Musk on his side so he can win an election? Because that is the only way that a small fringe party with 4 MPs is going to win an election, with a shed load of money. Imagine if the Green Party had access to billionaire donors. Imagine if the Green Party had access to their own TV channel, like GB News, which is literally just a mouthpiece propaganda for Reform Party. Imagine if the Greens had access to that. They'd be dictating what the topic of the day is. Now, I'm going to take another opportunity and relish this opportunity, because I don't get to praise Keir Starmer that often. But he summed this up perfectly in the House of Commons.
Well, Mr. Speaker, of course, the Honourable Member for Clacton is not here representing his constituencies in the House that he was elected to. No, he's flown to America to badmouth and talk down our country. And worse than that, Mr. Speaker, if you can believe it, he's gone there to lobby the Americans to impose sanctions on this country, which will harm working people. You cannot get more unpatriotic than that. It's a disgrace.
He is a traitor, and he has got that absolutely spot on.
In the UK, Mr. Farage is openly promoting the abolition of the Human Rights Act of 1998 to be replaced with a British Bill of Rights that limits the right of free speech to British citizens and legally sanctioned residents. He complains that racist threats against immigrants are not protected free speech, while he proposes to strip migrants, tourists, and perhaps even visiting American congresspeople of any free speech rights at all. I had my own close encounter with that when Mr. Farage and his team presented for more than an hour in a conversation we had about free speech. And after 3 minutes of talking, he cut me off and terminated the meeting because he didn't like what I was saying. That's the kind of free speech he's committed to. There is a free speech crisis in America today, but there's no free speech crisis in Britain. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has not shut down GB News, where Mr. Farage has his own show, just because Mr. Farage has used his airtime to call for banning peaceful protests that he disagrees with. No one has stopped him from going on Russian TV 17 times and saying also and repeating that the one world political leader he most admired was Vladimir Putin, even though Vladimir Putin is a war criminal and a dictator who has regularly interfered in other countries' democratic elections. No one has stopped Mr. Farage from parroting Putin's absurd talking points, like when Farage claimed that NATO, the US, and Britain provoked this war in Ukraine. For a man who fashions himself as some kind of a free speech martyr, Mr. Farage seems most at home with the autocrats and dictators of the world who are crushing freedom on earth. Mr. Farage wants to get rid of the Online Safety Act in his country, a law shepherded by the Conservative Party and implemented by the Labor Party, which bans child pornography online, protects children from harmful content, forbids non-consensual pornography and other unlawful content. He should go and advance the positions he's taking here in Congress today in Parliament, which is meeting today, if he's serious about it. To the people of UK who think this Putin-loving free speech imposter and Trump sycophant will protect freedom in your country, come on over to America and see what Trump and MAGA are doing to destroy our freedom, kidnap college students off the street, ban books from our libraries, militarize our police and unleash them against our communities, take over our universities, wreck our professional civil service, and turn the government into a money-making machine for Trump and his family. You might think twice before you let Mr. Farage make Britain great again.
And this is where I do have hope for the future, because the more Farage cozies up to Trump, the more we're going to see what's going on in America unfold over the next few years. We're going to see him get more totalitarian, curve more freedom of speech. I mean, how can any right-minded person think that Trump is for free speech when pretty much he sues every single media outlet that says something he disagrees with? He's arresting college students on campuses for protesting. He's throwing out the military willy-nilly wherever he wants it. This guy is the opposite of freedom of speech. And if Farage is going to continue to follow him, I'm positive that we're going to see the absolute batshit crazy shit going on in the US and want nothing to do with that. Folks, you're going to bring this stuff to the UK. Not only are you going to bring the craziness of Trump over to the UK, but you're also just going to bring US economic policy to this country. You're going to see no healthcare for the poor. You're going to see people in healthcare debt. You're going to see more homeless, more drug addicts on the street because they fall through the cracks. There's no safety nets. This is what you're going to bring to this country with Reform Party. Farage wants Trump-style authoritarianism, and he wants a US-based economy. If you're a citizen of this country and you're thinking about voting reform and you care about things like the NHS, you care about good public services, you care about well-funded councils, you care about good education for your kids, you care about good transport links, you care about all these things, potholes, you care about all this sort of stuff, then the last thing you want is American style economics. If you want European standards of public services, you can't pay for it with US taxation levels. So if you want a tax system that's like the US, if you want massive tax cuts, which is what Nigel Farage wants, expect a low level of public services. Expect no safety nets for your citizens. Expect more people to fall down the cracks and more people homeless and more people poor in poverty. Just watch what's going on in America, folks. But thank you. God bless these congressmen. And we need to see more of this in this country. That'll end the video. I think those clips do the talking, really, don't they? I mean, we need to expose this man. We really need to expose this man for what he is. And I think it's coming. More and more people are cottoning onto this. More and more people are seeing the fraud that he is, the totalitarian dictator that he wants to come. Till next time, take care.